Settle back and enjoy the one last live offering for the weekend. It is Auchinleck Talbot against Celtic. It's live here on Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland in the company of Jackie McNamara, Ryan Stevenson and Thomas Duncan.
Thank you, Richard. It's why we love the Scottish Cup. The 42-time record winners Celtic up against sixth tier Auchinleck Talbot, who faced the biggest game in their 117-year history. It is a shame they're unable to host it at their Beechwood Park home. It is a terrific little ground nestled in the village, but nonetheless a special occasion for each and every one of the players, staff and 4,000 or so fans who are crammed in around us in the main stand in Rugby Park and over behind the goal to our right hand sides, all through the generations, here to witness something special. The big build-up, the excitement, going up against some of the best players in Scotland, and in Callum McGregor, the Celtic captain, the only player to keep his place from midweek, one of the best players in Scotland for many of the last 10 to 15 years, and this very much has been Celtic's competition in the last decade. They've won 6 of the last 9 editions, but nonetheless they'll be hurting from last May's painful defeat on penalties to Aberdeen, and they'll be desperate to regain the trophy that they have virtually made their own over recent seasons. Auchinleck Talbot captain Neil McPherson shakes hands with Callum McGregor, and as they exchange pendants and give them to their respective benches, he brings vast experience. McPherson, 10 years with Talbot, and he's played against Hearts in 2022 and 2019. He'll be key at the heart of that defence. And the Talbot fans in fine voice around us. About 4,000 of them, about 7,000 Celtic fans away to our left and across in the east stands. And the referee, Ross Hardy, is taking charge of this one as Celtic break from their huddle. And this is the final game of the weekend Scottish Cup action, one to come on Tuesday night. Of course, Stranraer and Queen's Park was postponed, and both of them will be in the draw, which will follow this match. It will be Auchinleck Talbot to kick us off. They're going to shoot from right to left as we sit in the main stands, and I'll run you through the teams. For Talbot, it's Muir in goal, Clark, McPherson, Wilson, Schonville, Syme, Crooks, Gillis, Boyd, Main and McAvoy. For Celtic, I mentioned 10 changes. It's Sinisalo in the goal, Ralston, Murray, Welsh and Donovan, McGregor, Bernardo, McCowan, Forrest, Balakwisha and Kenny. And it is the Ayrshire side to kick things off, and they immediately ping one down into the Celtic final third, and it's headed out, and it's a throw-in for Talbot, taken by Schonville into Main, and it's a battle with Boyd, and Celtic eventually win it, and Ralston plays up the line, but it's intercepted by Talbot and won back by Luke McCowan. Fast feet from the midfielder, but good pressure from Auchinleck, and Schonville gets a foot in, out for a throw-in to Celtic in line with the edge of their own penalty area. And you can see the aim was to just get Celtic in the corner straight from the off. Yeah,
it's a good start for them, just keep Celtic in their own half and right in the front foot. Celtic need to try and get in behind them now and try and turn them and cause them a few problems.
It looks like the lineup is as you expected, Jackie, as you described, with McCowan on this right hand side.
Yeah, Balakisha looks like he's just playing off in that kind of 10 row, if you like. Forrest on the left. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he does in that position.
Here is Ralston, knocks it to Stephen Welsh, and Motherwell fans will be rather disappointed that he's playing for Celtic, because it means he'll be cup tied if he does indeed return to Motherwell before the end of this window, which is a possibility. Been one of the outstanding defenders in the Premiership this season. Celtic free kick, about 20 yards into Talbot territory. Callum McGregor, a mark of his importance that he is the sole man to stay in the team. Can scarcely do without him. As McCowan comes in off their right hand side, gives it into the feet of McGregor, who drops one over the top as Balakwisha look to make the run, but it goes through to Willie Muir, the goalkeeper. And Muir, another one with vast SPFL experience, 217 appearances for Queen's Park, helped them get up the leagues after they relinquished their amateur status, and he boots it long, and the first header is won by Boyd, and Sinisalo is alert to get off his line and gather it. Celtic not managing to win the first header there. And here goes Donovan, gives it to James Forrest. Scored in 17 consecutive seasons, goes on the outside and smashes the ball into near enough the stands. Goes behind for a goal kick, and Celtic will hope for better quality.
Tommy Sloan will be happy.
Yeah, they'd like to do at the start. That one there when Forrest gets it, Donovan runs inside into his space and attracts two defenders over, rather than just let him have the ball, let him go and get at them himself and just support him. But yeah, it wasn't a great ball from Forrest. He'll be disappointed with that cross on his left foot.
I think the good thing about Auchinleck is they're happy to defend. That's the way their DNA is. So I think what they'll be looking to do is push Celtic out wide, get crosses in the box, and be happy to defend that from wide. I think the biggest thing is Jackie's saying, with somebody playing in behind in that hole, you need to try and nullify things coming through the centre of their midfield into that sort of space.
Here is Dane Murray striding up from centre back, and he fizzes one along the AstroTurf to McCowan, who's doubled up on, but he's carrying it forward. Look, McCowan really well, turning Seanville inside out, but then he recovers and gets a foot in, goes behind for the Celtic corner, goalless after just over 3 minutes at Rugby Park between Auchinleck Talbot and Celtic. Celtic go quickly with the corner, but there's 2 balls on the pitch, so they will have to retake. Martin O'Neill hoping to continue a fine record in the Scottish Cup, 3 trophies to his name in the 5 seasons to date that he's taken part in it as manager of Celtic. His last game of his first spell was that win over Dundee United in the final, of course, in 2005. Celtic having to retake this corner kick on the near side, out swing over the right foot, and then there's the header away. It bounces in the box and it's back out to its near side, and then intercepted by Seanville as Bernardo tried to swing it in. Celtic throw in. Auchinleck Talbot, and then another ball is back on the pitch again, but Celtic managed to get on with it.
I think you can see the tactics of the fans as well. Every time the ball goes into the crowd, they're just going to launch one back onto the pitch to try and slow the play down.
Getting involved as McCowan rolls it into the box. Johnny Kenny loses the ball, and then it's bobbling about in midfield, and it goes back for Dane Murray, halfway line, square to Stephen Welsh. I mentioned the form he's shown as part of a very impressive Motherwell side this season. Interesting where he is at mentally, taken out of a team. He wasn't in the squad midweek for the Premiership tie against Falkirk, as McCowan looks to play it down the line. Sliding challenge from Seanville.
Yeah, I was interested to see where he was going to start today. He started on the left hand side, but I think Celtic's kind of lacked that right hand side in the balance, with Trusty more left footed, so it'd be good for him to get a good performance tonight and give a manager something to think about.
Here's Callum McGregor, halfway up Talbot's half, gives it to Welsh, right-footed, across to Forrest on the left-hand side, drops it in for Balikwisha in the central area, back to Welsh, and across to Dane Murray in the centre circle. Murray for Welsh, who'll drive forwards, and goes out wide to Donovan, playing left-back this evening for Celtic. 5.5 minutes on the clock. Auchinleck 0, Celtic 0. Ball to the back post, headed across, chance for Kenny, brilliant save from Muir.
It's a fantastic save, but Kenny should be scoring that. That's what we were talking about before the game. You get chances there, take nothing away from the goalkeeper. It's a fantastic save, but he shouldn't have a chance. That should be in the back end. Although to get back, he's given offside there. But nevertheless, it should be in the back of the net.
And that's why Celtic are desperate to have a striker in this window, perhaps.
Yeah, 100%. But going back onto what Jackie's saying about Welsh, I've saw him a couple of times for Motherwell. He's been really, really good, and he starts it there with a great ball out wide. But if you're a striker for Celtic, that's food and drink. It's got to hit the back of the net.
Yeah, Willie Muir did his job. Offsides was given anyway. There is VAR in operation here today. Ross Hardy, the referee, Chris Graham, VAR, as Dane Murray goes square for Stephen Welsh, and out to James Forrest, and he slides it down the side of the box for Balikwisha. Low ball flashed in, across, goes to the edge of the box. Ralston from distant on his left foot, and it dribbles well wide of the target. You never really fancied Anthony Ralston from there.
It wasn't comfortable taking that one there, Ralston on his left side, but good pressure for Celtic, getting down the sides.
Yep, absolutely. You're listening to Sports Sound live on BBC Radio Scotland Extra. 7 minutes gone in the Scottish Cup 4th round tie. Auchinleck Talbot of the West of Scotland Premier Division 0, Celtic 0. Talbot second in the 6th tier, or one of the regional leagues at the 6th level of Scottish football. And they're a couple of points behind Troon, but they have games in hand as they look to win that title for the first time since the junior leagues were reshaped. And it's going to be an interesting season at that level as well, because the Lowland League is going to split into an East and a West, and along with the Highland League below League 2 from next season. So there's going to be a lot of teams going up a level as Dane Murray controls on halfway for Celtic and goes square to Stephen Welsh in the centre circle. McGregor back to goal, back to Welsh. Welsh goes forwards and gives it out to James Forrest. Controls and surges in the field and then thinks one into the box. Diving header from Seanville and then away from Aidan Wilson. Now it's Ralston. Out to Luke McCowan. McCowan back to Ralston. Ralston returns it to Luke McCowan. Slides it up to Johnny Kenny. He holds it well and gives it out to Bernardo, and he just keeps it in. Paulo Bernardo takes it inside one and then offloads it to Ralston, corner of the box, low ball in. It's not a good one, and Kenny had his back to goal and was under pressure as he tried to gather. Here's Welsh, McGregor. Welsh and Donovan. Donovan to Forrest. Tried to turn his man, who is Ross Clark, but he's pinched it off him and then plays it down the line, Ross Clark, and he's caught late by Colby Donovan, and it is a free kick to Talbot, 10 yards short of halfway.
That's good play, to be fair, winning the ball back and then trying to break forward. And I think that's what Talbot are going to have to do the full game, is if they can buy a free kick, get the free kick, take their time, try and get up the pitch. I mean, I think Celtic can't get sick of doing what they were doing there, just getting the ball wide, trying to get crosses in, and keep doing that. But gives Auchinleck Talbot a bit of a breather here, having the free kick.
And McAvoy wins the header on the edge of the box. It's headed down and into the area, and Boyd was lurking, but it's hooked away by Celtic as Talbot asks a couple of questions of the Celtic back line. It's forward here by Austin Syme, loses out, but it breaks for Seanville. Paulo Bernardo makes a challenge, but it goes to Cammy Crooks, but Celtic win it, and then McCowan plays it into the channel for Johnny Kenny to chase. He'll get there, Kenny. He's one-on-one with a defender, takes it inside him, looks for an option, edge of the box. It's Luke McCowan. He's got James Forrest outside him, but can't find him. Good challenge, and it breaks into McAvoy and through to the keeper Muir. 0-0.
Yeah, it was a good chance in the break there. I thought Johnny Kenny done well, and McCowan just couldn't get his feet quick enough to put in Forrest, but no credit to Talbot coming back in and getting the boys behind the ball.
Do you think he should shoot there?
Possibly, yeah.
18 yards out.
His first touch had to be right to set it up.
It's good play from Celtic, but I think just as it goes back to look there, you're thinking just take your 18 yards out, take a touch, get a quick shot off.
Talbot with another magnificent run, having defeated Haddington Athletic 4-0 at Beechwood in the prelim rounds, in a derby win over Cumnut, which the BBC cameras were there for. Won with a 90th minute penalty and beat Gretna 3-1 before hammering Dumbarton of League 2 4-0 and setting up this fantastic tie. And are holding their own here after 10 minutes. It's goalless. Celtic with one chance that, well, the flag went up, whether VAR would have intervened and overturned it had Johnny Kenny found the finish to beat Willie Muir. We don't know, but he didn't find the finish anyway. Here comes Celtic down the left. Alaquisha on the touchline, passes it inside to Bernardo. Bernardo with a poor ball, but it's well kept in by Donovan. McGregor hurls it to Murray in the centre circle. Stephen Welsh. Welsh takes his time and then carries forwards. It's all very congested in the middle of the pitch, and it goes to Dane Murray. McGregor sends one over the top as Forrest makes the run, headed away, and then the challenge comes in on Crooks, who is fouled. Free kick to Talbot.
Yeah, it was unlucky there. It was a good ball in. Just it's a wee bit further on. I think McGregor puts him through there, but that's what they need to do when they're sitting in like that and they've got easy possession. You just need that third man running, and you should cause them problems with that, but a bit unfortunate there.
And then the flip side of that is Auchinleck are just this is what it's going to be. Is they're going to have to just sit in that sort of block and defend for their lives, try and stop the balls. I think when it goes on to McGregor, for me anyway, I would be literally saying the closest person to McGregor has to go to him just to try and not give him time to try and pick out that pass, because as much as he was short there with the pass, at some stage he will find it.
And the free kick is given for a foul on Paulo Bernardo, but Kyle McAvoy won another header there, and he is very good in the air. I watched him in that Derby win over Cumnock in the first round, and he won everything that went up to him just about, as McCowan gives it to Dane Murray, and across to Stephen Welsh forwards for Donovan, who'd kind of inverted there into a central midfield position. Forrest holding the width, but they're coming to this near side now, and McCowan puts it into Balikwisha just inside the box, takes his touch. There's two Talbot players straight across to shut down the space. Terrific defending, and Balikwisha has to go backwards to Murray. Now McGregor offers. McGregor for Welsh, halfway up Talbot's half, and then it's into the box. Goes the pass, Donovan, cross blocked, and it's behind for the corner kick to Celtic. 0-0 still though. And Celtic looking to take the corner quickly to the feet of Forrest. In the corner of the box, McGregor has a bit of space here and then tries to return it to Bernardo. Now it's McGregor again. Bernardo, and the 1-2 into the box. Tried the cut back, it's half away, and then hooked away further down the field by Gillis from Talbot, and then McAvoy bumps into Stephen Welsh, or it was actually Bernardo was back there, I beg your pardon, and free kick is given. Celtic.
It's good play that, the 1-2, but I think at some stage somebody's got to take a shot, as if they're just kind of trying to overplay it, walk it into the goal. Whether that's just because you're a bit slack on the fact that you don't think Talbot are as good as what you usually come up against, but at some stage somebody's just got to have a pop at it.
Dane Murray saunters forwards, gives it to McCowan, who's inside the pitch, back to Murray, and then to Stephen Welsh, playing in a central midfield position at the moment. The centre back as Balikwisha takes it out wide, shimmies and goes past his man and sends it into the box, headed away by Schonville, only as far as Murray. 30 yards out, McGregor, Forrest, Welsh, good play by Celtic, opens up space for Balikwisha, and he's into the box. His cross is deflected, and then the keeper gives a good shout to his defender, and he manages to pounce on it and prevent the corner. 0-0. See Auchinleck, Talbot and Celtic in the Scottish Cup 4th round tie, live on Sports Sounds. Highlights on BBC One Scotland later, 10:30 BBC One. You'll get highlights of all of the action, including this one and Aberdeen's narrow win over Raith Rovers at Tawdry earlier. It's been a enthralling weekend of Scottish Cup action live on the BBC. Hearts and Hibs, the major scalps, really. Especially Hibs going down to Championship Dunfermline. Neil Lennon back to haunt his own side. Talbot have won a throw in here, 15 yards into Celtic's half. Territory and the little breather they're looking for in terms of just defensive concentration they're having to show. 15 minutes on the clock, 0-0 still. McPherson goes across to Wilson with a pass, and Schonville plays it up the line now for Boyd, who is out-muscled by Ralston, the Scotland international, who he was trying to take on there. Celtic take it quickly, and it's with Viljami Sinisalo making his 4th appearance of the season for Celtic. And it's flipped forward by Murray. Balikwisha's made the run, watched by McPherson, and Schonville heads it further forward. It's Bernardo, plays it forward for Forrest. He'll just get there, and he tries to stand it up to the back post. It's over McCowan, and Schonville has to head it out for a corner. And it's more defending to do as the Talbot fans rise to applaud.
It was good play again there from Celtic, a good ball down the side, good ball in from James Forrest. Just no one there at the back post.
McGregor, Celtic go short with the corner. Now Bernardo for Balikwisha. Balikwisha back to Bernardo. Bernardo to McGregor, he's on his left foot. Will he open up? He will. He'll hit the strike, it's blocked. And up into the air with a clearance. Syme can't control. Bounces for Crooks. He's pressurised by Bernardo, and then it goes deep and it's headed across the defence, and it's a good recovery from Bernardo, who filled in it right back to go back to Sinisalo, who's duffed his pass out there, and he was fortunate Boyd wasn't onto that, and then Sinisalo again just obviously not getting to grips with the surface.
Just bounced there, actually. He's hard in his mouth there with that one, but yeah, it wasn't comfortable with that first one coming back to him there. unfortunately didn't lead to anything.
And I suppose that's one for Sinisalo, Celtic goalkeeper, in games like this, is you've got to keep your concentration, because you're not going to see a lot of action probably. Well, Celtic goalkeeper doesn't often see a lot of action in domestic games, although more this season than in those gone by.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And that's the biggest thing, is concentration. You don't see a lot of the ball, but when you do, you make sure you do things properly and communicate with the players in front of you.
Well, that's a terrible ball in from Donovan. He went from deep there and goes straight behind for a goal kick.
Well, Ryan was saying earlier about Celtic not taking chances or not taking shots at goal. You see McGregor, he's probably thinking that himself. We're doing this passing run about, and he tried a shot there a few minutes ago. So
Tommy Sloan will be super happy. I think even with that cross there, I mean, it's a cross from 35 yards deep, and it goes out of the back post, and then you can see the fans again. He'll be standing there thinking the fans are going to get disgruntled. I mean, it's still a mammoth task, but can we just keep doing this? I think they've got to set themselves many goals. Can they get to half time at 0-0? If they get to half time at 0-0, what an achievement that is just in itself. I mean, I thought Celtic would probably have started a bit sharper than what they have.
Yeah, they need to move the ball quicker, and you know, some of the decision making at times, overplaying it when they maybe go and try and get a shot off, as you said.
Ralston's header from a Talbot throw-in drops to McGregor, who clears down the field. Header comes in from McPherson, heads it out just over halfway, and it will be a throw-in. And just when you watch Celtic, I know they've made 10 changes, but with Luke McCowan playing as a right winger, when you think of Celtic of years gone by, the wingers just taking on players, getting cutbacks, crosses, and you know, he's a central midfielder really. Is now an actual winger. James Forrest surges for the byline. Was he caught there? He was, I think. Yeah, free kick being given. And so just the left-hand side of the box, opportunity for Celtic. Ryan,
I think that's what they have to do. When they're at the back, I think they can take their time, but I think as soon as it goes wide, as James Forrest does there has to be sharp, there has to be pace. We have to try and get in behind him. Or if it goes into Donovan's been really quiet. I mean, he looks pretty when he comes and he just bops 1-2s and things like that, but I mean, he's doing it 40 yards from Auchinleck Talbot's goal. That's not helping him, I
think Donovan's more comfortable on the right hand side, on his right foot, whereas he'll burst forward and get in beyond the wide player. It's difficult to do that on his left.
Sent in with the right foot, it's headed away behind by Cammy Crooks there, or it's come off a Celtic player last actually, as it goes behind for a goal kick. Could have gone anywhere.
Yeah, I thought it was a good ball in there for Bernardo. He has got good deliveries.
And I think, again, Auchinleck will probably take a bit of confidence from that. The fact that it was a really good ball in, we've defended it, okay, we've got a bye kick. Can we just keep doing what we're doing? Tommy Sloan will be down there saying, well, we've only got 75 minutes to go. But, I mean, they started the game really, really well, Talbot have.
That's a header from Dane Murray from the goal kick. It's bouncing and it's played by Ross Clark, and then McGregor up into the air. It comes down and Celtic jostling for it. Kenny gets a touch on it but just gives it away.
That's a lot better for Murray there, just going and attacking that. You know that Talbot has won a lot of headers at the early parts of the game, but that's important that they win the first ones.
Forward for Kenny on the edge of the box. He tried to lay it to Forrest. Touch on it though by Wilson, and then it's touched forward by McAvoy, and he's got the better of Donovan here. Brilliant. And he's gone past Welsh as well, and he's coming forward and he's brought down, and the referee is happy with the tackle. And then Balakwisha recovers the situation for Celtic. That the home fans at Rugby Park, such as it is, are getting frustrated. That felt that was a free kick there. As Ralston gives it to McCowan, sliding challenge from Boyd, and they're right up for it, the Talbot fans, as Ralston controls the throw-in. Celtic not had the opportunities on target you would expect in the opening 21 minutes of this game. Still goalless. McCowan in the right wing, drives inside. He's done well. Luke McCowan gets the pass into Kenny. He's got three around him, tried to return it to McCowan, cleared to Murray to Welsh along the turf to Forrest. That's brilliant play from James Forrest, puts it into the box, a header, it's wide.
It has to be a goal there. It's a great move from Celtic, great ball in for Forrest, but he's got to score that. Bernardo,
he's got to hit the target.
I think he closed his eyes there.
He's got to hit the target. I think going back on it with Kenny as well, was McCowan plays really well there, comes inside, plays the ball into his feet, and then comes to the return. If you're going to be that number 9 for Celtic, you have to hold the ball in there.
That's twice he's done that. He's lost possession in there, and he just needs to link, holds it in. He's got midfield runners. He's got to do better.
Yeah, it's such a big thing as well, isn't it? When that ball comes in, it has to, especially if you're playing for a club the size of Celtic. The players have to know that as soon as that ball goes into you, regardless, it's sticking, and then you can make that. The midfielders can make that run off to try and get a shot at goal. But going back on there, a good play from James Forrest, and Bernardo's got to score that.
Well, Auchinleck Talbot, West of Scotland Premier Division side, have survived the first quarter of the game without conceding a goal against the Scottish champions and the 42-time Scottish Cup winners Celtic, as Ralston feeds McCowan on the right touchline. He's got 2 in front of him. They're doubling up well, but he's jinked in field and then tries to find Balikwisha, who's taking it on the back foot and can't control, and it goes through to Muir, the keeper. And Balikwisha is a player, like many at Celtic, well, I suppose all players are at Celtic, under pressure. He's barely featured under Martin O'Neill.
I was actually saying Donovan earlier on. I actually meant Balikwisha. I think that even there as well, I'm going on about Kenny's, that's good play there, and it's got to stick. You're 18 yards for goal, you've got to make sure that sticks, and then it goes past them. It's a slack touch, and it goes through, and it just allows Talbot to get themselves reset again, get back into a shape. So vital that when it goes up into that last bit for Celtic, that it does stick up top.
Well played by Bernardo, gets it away to Forrest on the left hand side of the box, slides it back to Stephen Welsh across to Murray to McGregor to Ralston out to McCowan. It's a bit isolated out there. McCowan now has the run from Ralston. He's on the byline, cuts it back, edge of the 6. Balikwisha over the top. He's got to score.
Got to score again. You can't be missing chances like that. Again, well worked down the right hand side. Great way to pass from McCowan. And Ralston cuts it back really well. He's got to score that.
And that's more like the Celtic you were expecting, getting this down the sides of the teams, cut back, and it's just on a plate. I know he's 10 yards out, but at least hit the target.
Yeah, there's no excuse for that. I think, to be fair, James Forrest, McCowan have done really well. Great run there from Ralston to get on in beyond that. Great cut back, but as you're saying, he's 10 yards out. I mean, it's the old thing, head down, keep it down low, it's on the AstroTurf, and just hit the target, and it sails over the bar there. Listen, we've seen this happen before, and they keep missing, and things will get a bit more anxious. But Celtic, again, up until that point, they just need to keep doing what they're doing, and they will fashion more chances.
Now, of course, the problem for Talbot is the Celtic bench. Negrin, Yang, Tinekte, Scales, Maeda, Hatate on there if needed. Shouldn't be needed, but at the moment it's Talbot who are holding firm. 0-0 after 25 minutes. Callum McGregor gives it to Dane Murray. Square for McGregor. Forrest has made a run in behind. It's chipped up. It's headed down and away by McPherson, and then Clark helps it on, and so does Luke Main. And it's back to Stephen Welsh. What you would say is Talbot look a big kind of physical, athletic side. As it goes into Donovan, the edge of the box, back out to Welsh. Now Murray. McGregor offers and receives. McGregor to Forrest. The 8-time Scottish Cup winner James Forrest is Welsh. Ralston to Murray. Every Celtic player bar the goalkeeper within 35 yards, 40 yards of the Talbot goal. Murray. Now Ralston and McCowan. Celtic recycling possession. Now it's McGregor to Balikwisha. Takes a touch and gives it to Ralston in a central position. Now out to Bernardo and across to Dane Murray for Welsh. Patient play by Celtic. Out to Donovan, crosses in with the right foot. It's high to the back post, and Kenny, it's just a bit limp from the central striker. There was jostling going on with the defender, but it has to be stronger there. As McCowan, I beg your pardon, to give Johnny Henny a break there.
It's quite a patient build-up for Celtic, though. I don't think Donovan just had to put that in. He kept it there and wait for the spaces to open up there, and just put one in. Wasn't a great ball in, and just gets out muscled at the back post.
I think the best opportunity that Celtic have probably got is trying to get to that byline and getting the ball cut back low, hard. I think when Celtic are doing that with Donovan done there, and he's crossing it from like 25-35 yards out, Talbot will be happy with that, because it gives him an opportunity to go and defend it. As you're saying, pretty much Tommy Sloan's given us any centre half that he has to be above 6 foot. So they'll be reasonably comfortable if Celtic are just crossing it from deep.
Stephen Welsh steps into the game, lovely ball down the side of the box for Forrest, and he tried the first time past the Balakwisha, who was ahead of the ball, and it's now Clark who scoops it down the line for Stephen Welsh. He goes across to Murray with a pass. Auchinleck, Talbot 0, Celtic 0 after 27.5 minutes. Live on Sportsound on BBC Radio Scotland Extra, digital and online. Second live commentary of the day after Aberdeen's win over Wraith Rovers. Here goes Forrest again. He always looks the most likely as the sliding challenge comes in from Clark, and Celtic at the throw-in. It's Stephen Welsh across to Murray. Murray into the feet of Johnny Kenny, tries to turn on the edge of the box, forced backwards, and Murray has to scamper back towards halfway to collect this pass. Finds Welsh, his centre-back partner, and then over to James Forrest, who decides to come in the pitch, finds McGregor, then Bernardo, Murray, McGregor. Celtic just forcing Talbot to shift position and stay concentrated as Murray controls about 30 yards from Talbot goal. Here he is again, Dane Murray out to McCowan, and McCowan is across to McGregor to Welsh, and Welsh then finds Balakwisha in a bit of space on the left hand side of the box, doesn't have space for long, and the sliding challenge is a good one from Clark. Goes all the way out to the far side touchline in front of that east stand, which is pretty much full of Celtic supporters, about 6,500-7,000 of them here at Rugby Park. As Bernardo gives it to Murray. Bernardo got a sore one there, but play on as Murray gives it to McCowan on this near side. Look, McCowan onto the left foot, sends it to the back post, but nobody has made the run. Behind for a goal kick, still 0-0.
I think they'll be happy with that. It actually is a really good ball in, but the fact that he's cutting back and playing it in, but I mean, Celtic have got possession there, and Talbot literally have 10 players on the 18-yard box. So that just tells you how it's going to be for the remainder of this game, as long as it stays sort of 0-0 anyway. I don't know, Jackie, you think Celtic need to move it quick? They need to move it quicker.
They actually need to create the overload. Is that, the way Talbot set their back four up there, it's actually on early.
To do the overload.
But they take too long in setting it up, and then they get back into position. But the times they've created overload and getting behind them, and they had the cut back, which they should have scored from, but they've not done it often enough.
Throw in from Talbot down the line towards McAvoy, controls it on the body. He's trying to hold off the defender. He's done well. Looked like he was pulled back there, and then the whistle eventually goes. And Auchinleck Talbot have a free kick right on the far side touchline for about 28 yards from Sinisalo's goal.
And this will be what they've worked on. This is it. This will be their full game plan. Will be, can we get into Celtic's half? Can we get in and around the 18-yard box? Can we buy a free kick? And then can we put it in the box and ask questions?
And the free kick, I mean, it's almost literally on the line on the far side. It's a decent one for the left footer. And it comes, hangs high, and Sinisalo stays in his line, and the header comes in, and it's up and only half away, headed to the back post. Sinisalo doesn't punch it, and then it's not managed to be turned home at the back post, but it's a corner. And panic in the Celtic box.
Sinisalo, oh my God, I mean...
That's when you want your goalkeeper to show a bit of, a bit of bravery to come in.
Just to come out and get it.
And grab it and try to punch it there. I mean, you should just grab it.
I mean, he could have grabbed it, and I don't even know why he's tried to punch it.
I can just imagine, I'll tell you what Martin will say at half time with that one, his goalkeeper.
And it's going to be a corner on the far side for Auchinleck Talbot. In swinger, high, right on top of the goalkeeper. Headed away by Celtic, and it's still in the box. Turn and shoot from Syme into his own teammate, and away by Ralston. Nervy times at the back for Celtic. Clark sends it back. There's Talbot players offside, and it goes through to Sinisalo.
I'll tell you what, I think he could have maybe a shot that first time there, but that aside, if there was ever a bit of inspiration for Talbot, it would literally be any time you get a set piece and a cross, put it on the goalkeeper.
Stephen Welsh controls Yeah, you could just feel the anticipation go up in the fans around us as they managed to get into the Celtic box and cause a bit of problems. It's been a vulnerability for Celtic all season, set pieces, as Donovan comes forward into Kenny, touches the edge of the box, Bernardo loses out, but it breaks for McCowan. McCowan threads it through Bernardo, can't get the shot away. Ralston just inside the box. Ralston goes on the outside, low cross, half turned away and then booted downfield by McPherson, the Talbot captain.
I think Bernardo's got to get a shot away there.
Yeah, he has to.
I think inside the box he's a good enough player where when he gets played into him there, he should be on the half turn, take the touch, get a quick shot away.
Even just before that.
The challenge is missed and Forrest is in down the left. Talbot get back in numbers onto the right foot of Forrest, and then it's towed up the pitch by the defender, and Welsh has to go after it as Dane Murray controls with the right foot. Goes across the ground with a pass to McCowan. He's one-on-one with Schonville. McCowan goes on the outside. Luke McCowan takes a deflection into the near post and it's turned home. And there's the opening goal for Celtic. Johnny Kenny celebrates. It's a neat finish. Talbot unlucky. It's the first sight of goal for Celtic striker, and he takes full advantage. And it is after, well, over half an hour of resistance. Auchinleck Talbot 0, Celtic 1.
So actually the first time McCowan went down the right hand side on his right foot, and he put, I don't know if he got a little deflection on the cross, but you know, he's where he should be, Kenny, so hopefully he gets a bit of confidence out, because he's not started the game well in terms of holding the ball up or his positioning, but you know, that for me that's a good finish in the right area.
Yeah, I think McCowan does the right thing, try to get down, as we're saying, to the byline, get a cut back, and probably the little deflection helps Kenny there, just slows it up from a great. Listen, any striker, you know, as soon as the winger goes to the byline, you get across that front post. He does it really, really well. A yard or so out and gets the touch into the top of the net.
So Celtic nerves eased slightly after Johnny Kenny's opening goal. It took them 33 minutes to get it, but they have got it, and it's a sickener for Talbot.
It'll be a big 5-10 minutes here for Talbot now, just to try and make sure that they steady the ship again, they don't get caught up in the occasion and then end up losing another goal. But a lot of pressure and a lot of weight lifted off the Celtic players for sure with that goal.
Talbot throw in line with the edge of the Celtic box, and they've managed to come up with possession here. Balaquisha wins it in the corner of the box. He's done well in a tight space. Balaquisha gives it to Bernardo, back heel away from Gillies, and then back to Ralston across the Sinisalo. You could perhaps hear the chants after the Celtic goal of sack the boards as the January transfer window rumbles on, and Celtic only so far recruiting. Araujo on loan from Bournemouth, the right back, who's rested today. Here comes McCowan in the field, opens up for him to have the strike, but it's a wild one off the outside of the left foot and goes into the stands. 1-0 Celtic.
That's the right thing. It's just obviously
just the execution.
Yeah, the execution's off. But I mean, I think between him and James Forrest, they've been the two sort of players that look as if they want to try and make something happen. Every time the ball goes to them, they're positive. They're getting at the Talbot back line. But as I said, I think the goal will take a lot of pressure off the Celtic boys now. Hopefully they can settle down and get into a bit of rhythm and sort of find their way into the game. For Talbot, I think if they can just get to half-time with the scoreline the way it is, get in and sort of regroup. But even to get to half an hour, I mean, the workload that they've put in, moving about, Jackie probably hasn't done it much in his career, but I did. Obviously, you played in better teams than me, so you were the one that was moving me about. But I can tell you, it's difficult moving about when you don't really see much of the ball and you're just going side to side all the time.
Yeah. Just we were talking about earlier, it's on really early, you know, for Murray just to switch one over to Forrest while they're setting up.
Here's Forrest on the byline, marshalled, sends one in, the header goes over, or it drops the cross I should say, goes over McCowan's head as he tried to get one on target as Dane Murray controls, and Celtic have only been beaten by 3 sides in the Scottish Cup in the last decade, beaten by Rangers 3 times, obviously Aberdeen in last season's final on penalties, and then Cally Thistle in the 2015 semi-final when they went on to win the cup. It's a hard thing to do, to get better of Celtic in this competition in recent times, and well, in any time, given they've won it a record 42 times, as Welsh takes it, gives it to Murray to McGregor to Ralston Rolls it back with the studs and is forced backwards, and Celtic quite narrow at the moment as it goes to Welsh. Welsh is looking up into the box to see if he's got an option, which he doesn't. Gives it to Ralston, who switches it out to Donovan, who's hugging the touchline. It's fired at him and the headed touch isn't the best, and Talbot managed to push them back through Clark, but Celtic recycled possession. Ralston, it's Auchinleck 0, Celtic 1. Johnny Kenny's goal after 33 minutes. The only difference between the Scottish champions and the West of Scotland Premier Division side. Ralston, it's Murray, square for Welsh, out to Forrest, chinks in on the right foot and then puts it into the centre of the box. Kenny tried the little flick, got caught under his feet. Now Bernardo, Ralston, McCowan on the edge of the area, onto the left foot, curling strike, and beaten away by Muir, and he managed to regather just as Colby Donovan was following in. Stays 1-0.
Yeah, it was a comfortable one for the keeper there, but the right idea from McCowan, just come on his favoured left foot, just tries to curl it in the corner, but keeper was comfortable with that one.
Muir, the goalkeeper, goes long. His header is won by Celtic, and it's over to McCowan on the near side, and then to the feet of Stephen Welsh. Welsh is into the centre circle for Murray. Murray floats one over to the left corner for Forrest, but skips off the surface. It's raining now here at Rugby Park, and behind for a goal kick.
You can see what Jackie was just saying there, obviously, about him moving it and switching sides. And Martin O'Neill is literally screaming at the centre halves to do that. Because it is, with Auchinleck sitting as deep as what they are, it is the only way they're going to get a bit of time. As if it does come back to a centre half, he has to be confident enough just to take that touch and go bang out the other side.
It's on, it's been on right for the start of the game. Even the first one when Kenny was offside, he diagonal for Welsh, but it's just the execution there. He's unlucky, just a bit too much on it.
He doesn't look too happy, to be fair, Martin O'Neill, when I'm watching him down there.
He's changed out of the suit. When I spoke to him earlier, he's got the trachea on and the Mundials. As he watches on across the pitch.
I think the thing is with this kind of, like, I love it, the old school sort of manager is, if I'm a Celtic player just now, I know if I'm going off at half time what I'm coming into. Because you know that you're coming into an absolute rollicking.
It's an Auchinleck Talbot throwing over on the far side, the former junior side, and just the one goal behind with 6 minutes to go plus stoppages to the break. And they have it at the back here through Wilson, goes long looking for the left back. Seanville has made a good run. Ralston gets there first and squeezes it away. Bernardo wins the race as well. Good turn from him, and gives it to Dane Murray, who rolls it away from Luke Gillies, and Ralston on the byline plays it, and that's a lovely touch from McCowan into Bernardo. Tries to find Balakrisha, who holds off Austin Syme, doesn't get the free kick, and it's played out by Celtic for an Auchinleck throw just over halfway. As Martin O'Neill, hands on hips, watches on. Tommy Sloan similarly so, with a long jacket on. He was out taking the shooting practice as well. Tommy Sloan before the game, getting right into the action, and that's a poor touch, runs out for the Celtic throw on the far side. That's
what happens when you're a junior manager. You have to take the shooting practice. He's probably got the balls and the bibs and the cones in the back of his car as well.
Yeah, I think he just loves it. He was there taking a touch and laying it off for the players that have the strike. As McGregor gives it to Stephen Welsh. 5 minutes to the break. Celtic a goal to the goods. It's Ralston to McCowan. It's behind McCowan. And Ralston gives it to Murray. Just looking at the Celtic wide players, they always often seem to take it facing backwards, and they're not even squaring up their man or anything really.
Yeah, when it's like that, the first touch has to come back as well. If the body's not in the right position to start with, to get in behind them. So then, it always seems to be coming back, as you said, and waiting for somebody to come beyond them.
Dane Murray strides forward and gives it to McCowan. McCowan up against Seanville. McCowan into McGregor. McGregor across now to Donovan. Donovan to Forrest. Wraps around. Forrest inside ball to Bernardo. Now Welsh. Sean, he's given it away here now, and it's a break on. Striding forwards goes Crooks. He's over halfway. Celtic get back in numbers. He's got support now from his teammate McAvoy on the far side, but Celtic get back and recover the situation. But that was slack from Stephen Welsh.
Yeah, Martin won't be happy with that.
It's give him the benefit of the doubt to say the surface played a part, but he tried to go round the on-rushing player and just ran straight into him as Forrest comes inside the pitch onto the right foot, gives it to McGregor. 3 minutes plus stoppage time left. It's Auchinleck, Talbot 0, Celtic 1. McCowan to the edge of the box and in with the left foot, and the header is from the defender back to his goalkeeper Muir, who takes it relatively comfortably.
I think that I'm looking at Murray there, and I know it must be difficult because you've not really maybe played that many games, but as soon as he takes a touch, he's maybe taken 3-4 touches before it goes wide, and as we're going back to, he literally has to take a touch and just go bang, here, take that. And I know it can be difficult because you haven't played, you're maybe not as sharp, but it's the only way I think that Celtic are going to be able to sort of get enough time to get the wide players to take that touch forward, to get in behind Talbot, because they're sitting so deep. And I think that will be what's frustrating Martin O'Neill there. I think Welsh has actually started reasonably well, and then that sort of slackness, when you are slack on the ball, it just can creep through the team as well.
And it's the free kick from Talbot, eventually drops from McCowan onto his left foot, tries to find Kenny, but it comes straight back. Ralston puts it downfield, so that Kenny's not in position really, goes beyond him and it's lashed forwards, and then it breaks in the edge of the box for Talbot, and Boyd had made the run, but McAvoy just can't quite find him, and it's given away in midfield, and Syme, who rolls it to Boyd, scored 23 goals this season. Ralston sliding challenge, hooks it away from Schonville, but it's Austin Syme who G's up the crowd here in the main stand. Talbot get a bit of territory once more.
Good play from Talbot again, you know, trying to be positive in what they're doing.
And throws it straight to McCowan though.
Slack from the Celtic point of view, giving away cheap balls there. You'd expect them, the quality they have, to keep the ball better.
It goes out to the far side though. Chance here is McAvoy, and did he back in there? The referee's happy with it. Forrest gives it to McGregor on the edge of his own box and into the feet of Dane Murray, making just his 8th appearance of the season. Did score in the League Cup against Falkirk, his first Celtic goal. Him and Stephen Welsh.
Question for Jackie here is that the fact that you know Martin O'Neill so well is, you know, we can tell obviously he's not happy with the general play. He'll be happy they're 1-0 up. Do you think he'll make changes at half time straight away?
I don't think he'll change much at half time. He'll keep them going for another 10-15 minutes.
But even that, Jamesy Forrest has been really good, but Welsh plays it out there and it's a bad touch and it goes out for a throw in. I'll go back to Murray, and I'm not just pinpointing him out, but when one player becomes slack, it can just creep into the full team.
Absolutely, as you said earlier with the goalkeeper, you know, he can just come and command it and catch it.
Sets a precedent.
In the same sense, at the other end of the park, you're wanting Kenny to get a hold of it, and I know for a fact that's what you'll be saying to him: get a hold of the ball.
Here's McCowan on this near side. 10 seconds left of the 45 in the first half. Celtic just a 1-0 up against Auchinleck Talbot in the Scottish Cup 4th round. And what Talbot don't want to do is concede a second before the break. Can they keep it to 1 before the referee blows the whistle? 1 minute of added time is indicated by the 4th official. Bernardo stops on the ball, gives it to Ralston. Ralston forced backwards and all the way back to Sinisalo, who's 35 yards from his goal, gives it to Welsh. And Forrest has made the run, but Welsh delays the pass, and then Forrest comes back. Not the best touch from Forrest, but he regathers and gives it to Welsh, and square for Murray. 30 seconds left of the first half. McCowan touch sits up off the surface and he loses it, and then Ralston has to get back in and prod it back to Murray. As Celtic just signs of sloppiness in this first half, perhaps to be expected with 10 changes, but nonetheless the standard should be higher. And here they come though, down the left hand side. Donovan out swinging ball and brought down, and then it's floated to Ralston, and then there's too many of them in it, right on top of each other on the edge of the box. 3 of them standing within a few yards of each other and getting in each other's way. They still have the ball, Celtic. Flipped out to Donovan, who's offside.
Should be offside then.
And there is the half-time whistle, and the Auchinleck Talbot fans get to their feet around us and give a really generous and heartening applause to their team, because they've been brilliant really. Defensively pretty solid, haven't conceded too many chances. Nonetheless, Celtic have the leads Johnny Kenny with a neat near post finish on 33 minutes. Broke the deadlock after Balakusha had skied one. Bernardo had a header he should have scored with, and Kenny also was denied by the goalkeeper, though the flag did go up. Celtic do have the advantage they were after, but they would have liked more than the one goal. Talbot will be rather delighted with their showing so far at Rugby Park. Half time in the Scottish Cup fourth round, it is Auchinleck Talbot 0, Celtic 1.
The Scottish Cup.
Live on Sports Sound.
Scottish football lives here.
On BBC Radio Scotland.
If you're up late, we're up late. And so is Lynn Hogan.
When everyone else is having hot cocoa and putting the bins out, some of us are just getting started. Up Late is a new place to bring together a community of night owls, back shifts, deadlines, can't sleep, won't sleep, caregivers, cab drivers, and all of our nocturnal neighbours. So whether you're a creature of the night or just out walking the dog, join me, Lynn Hogan, Monday to Thursday, and Ashley Story on Fridays. Because if you're up late, we're up late.
Up Late on BBC Radio Scotland.
Weeknights from 10 on digital radio, or ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio Scotland.
This is Sports Sound with me, Richard Gordon. Our final remaining live action from the Scottish Cup this weekend. And at half-time at Rugby Park, it is Auchinleck Talbot 0. Celtic won a 6th goal of the season for Johnny Kenny. It feels like Celtic have pretty much dominated the ball, as you'd imagine. And at one stage earlier in the game, the stats were showing, I think, somewhere about 76-77% possession. Just another look just now at half-time. It's showing that Auchinleck had 49% possession and Celtic had 51%. I fully appreciate that these stats do not always tell you everything that you need to know about a game, and that seems somewhat bizarre that they're showing that way, but that's what it says right now. Certainly Auchinleck with no shots on target, no goalkeeper saves for Celtic, but not too many for Muir in the Auchinleck Talbot goal, just a couple of saves for him. Celtic in front, but you saw the Auchinleck Talbot fans, Ryan, as the players were leaving there, getting a huge round of applause to the Auchinleck Talbot team. They've been very happy, very impressed with what they've seen from their side in the opening 45 minutes.
Yeah, they've been brilliant. I think they've done what they set out to do. I mean, if there was ever a thing to show you that stats are a load of rubbish, that's exactly it. I mean,
nonsense.
Jeez, but I mean, they've sat in 2 banks. They've worked ever so hard. It'll be difficult for them to keep that up for the second 45. But they'll be going in there at half time, and Tommy Sloan will be saying to them, do you know what, lads? Absolutely amazing. I think the goal, as good a finish as it was, I think the deflection on the cross helped Kenny, because up until then Talbot had really dealt with everything that was coming in their box, and then they'll go in and again Tommy will be saying to them, listen lads, if we can get a couple more free kicks, goalkeeper doesn't look great on cross balls, can we put pressure on him? I think the main thing and the big thing is it's only 1-0. Listen lads, we're still in this. Can we just fashion one chance to try and get something back? But from Celtic's point of view, as Jackie said, he'll be better placed than me. The fact that Mark Manil probably going in there and going through them, they just haven't moved it sharp enough, they haven't switched the play quick enough, but at the same time you'll understand the fact that they're 1-0 up. It's going to take something super special for Talbot to get a goal back, but I don't think he'll be particularly happy in the way they've performed.
Yeah, Jackie, they've done what they need to do in terms of getting in front in the game, but I would imagine that Martin O'Neill would have been expecting an awful lot more from his team in the opening 45 minutes. Yeah,
I mean, they should have scored another couple of goals. Bernardo should have scored with a header, and Balakisha, the one that's cut back from Lauston, but not enough for the moments, to be honest. Auchinleck Talbot are going to sit in and keep it. So what they've done is actually made it very narrow, and just saying, like, cross it in. We'll let you cross it, we'll let you get it out wider, because they know they'll deal with it. They've got the aerial threat at the back that they can deal with it. Celtic don't have a target man to go and win the headers and dominate against the centre backs. So they'll be like, they're comfortable with that. Just, let them cross it in, we'll deal with that. What I don't want is Celtic playing right through them, and they've not let them do that in the first half.
What we have seen from Auchinleck, and it's particularly impressive, I think, Jackie, isn't it, given they haven't played a competitive game since before Christmas. They're they know their job. They've been well coached, they are well drilled, they understand exactly each player what is expected of them out there.
Absolutely, and anything at all. They won the first couple of headers there. That they're going to compete, they're going to put themselves up there, and that's what Celtic need to be careful of. One little bit there, they gave away a free kick away down in the left back area, and it was put right on top of the goalkeeper. So at that point, you expect them just to come and grab it and take the pressure off your defence. But what it does is it just makes it so tense for the defenders and the players, and it gives Auchinleck such a lift at that point. You're thinking, right, you get a couple of chances here to put balls in your box. Celtic can't deal with it. So they're still in the game. It's only 1-0. As we've seen, that's what Martin will be at half time. He'll not want any slackness. A wee bit of slackness coming into the air. Welsh gets caught in it, and the other one with Donovan lets it go underneath him. He won't want any of that in the second half, and he'll want, I know for a fact, he'll be telling Kenny to get hold of the ball inside the box. He's not held it in well enough at times for Celtic.
We touched on some of those Celtic players. It's fair to call them fringe players, but they're not guys necessarily, Ryan, who play week in, week out. Thought this is perhaps an opportunity for them to try to convince Martin O'Neill they should have more game time. Has anyone done that this afternoon?
McCowan's looked good. He's probably looked good. He's been dangerous. He's been positive. Yeah. James Forrest has done the same. I think the two wingers have tried their hardest every time the balls come into them to try and make something happen. As Jackie's saying, I don't think Kenny's held the ball up well enough, but at the same time, he's got half a chance buying goal. Listen, it's a difficult game. As I said before the game started. Sorry, these games are difficult because Celtic they're on a hiding to nothing. If they go and play well, you're expected to do that. Auchinleck at one stage literally had 10 bodies on the 18-yard box. So it is difficult to break them down, but they play for Celtic. So the way I look at it is, I would have loved that opportunity to play for Celtic. So if you're a really good player and you're playing for Celtic and you're on the fringes and you've got an opportunity, regardless who the opponent is, you've got to come in and you've got to make the manager go home on the bus on the way back up the road to Glasgow saying, oh, by the way, he was good, wasn't he? And he tried his hardest and he tried to make things happen. And I only think the two really is Forrest and McCowan right now that have looked to make things happen when they've got the ball. But I think, going back on that what you were saying about Talbot, I think the subs that they bring on to a T, they'll know exactly what they're doing. I know for a fact Tommy's training regime is on a Tuesday they have no balls, they just run. So they'll be, whoever comes on, they'll be fit, and they just need another 45 minutes doing the exact same as they've done in the first half, and hopefully they can fashion a chance.
Just watched a couple of the replays there. First of all, the opportunity for Talbot when Sinisala comes out and he flaps, and actually it's good defensive work by Luke McCowan to prevent Boyd, I think it is, from getting in at the back post and potentially getting an effort on goal. And prior to that, the goal, and as the boys have said, it was good work down that right hand side. McCowan playing it for Ralston. The cross does take a deflection. You can see the goalkeeper Muir, he's set there to take it, he's crouched down, he's in position, and just at the last moment it's very alert striking play from Johnny Kenny, who gets in front of the defender, gets the flick, the keeper realises he's done for, and it flies into the net at that near post. That is the goal that separates the sides so far. In the earlier tie, that was at Pittodrie, a 2:30 kick-off. There was just one goal which separated those two, Aberdeen prevailing over Raith Rovers thanks to a first ever Dons goal from Jack Milne, who spoke afterwards with Tyrone Smith.
Jack, it's your first goal for Aberdeen and an important one as well.
Yeah, no, delighted to get first goal for the club, but the win's the most important thing through to the next round.
Just talk me through how important a win that was today.
Yeah, we know the cup is always difficult. You never want to underestimate anyone, and we had to go in with the right attitude and get the job done.
Because it was one of those games that the pressure was all on Aberdeen, wasn't it? Particularly after the recent run of form, and a lot of people might have been looking at this one as being a potential cup shock.
Yeah, I know the form's not been great. We know that. Today was all about winning. That was the message. Again, the first half not great. Second half we were a bit better. Just need to take our chances better. But as I said before, getting through is the main objective, and we did that. Can
this result maybe be a platform or a catalyst for a change in fortunes over the next little period?
Yeah, of course. It's our first win in a few games, and we just need to try and build on it and pick up wins in the league. And Livingston next week, we need to go with the same attitude and go and get 3 points.
And the clean sheet as well, from a defender's point of view, that will hopefully generate a bit more confidence as well.
Yeah, definitely. As a defender myself, it's always important to get clean sheets, and it gives you a better platform to go on and win the game. And we've not had enough of those recently, but yeah, again, something to build on.
Jack Milne got his first Aberdeen goal. It proved to be hugely important because it earned the victory for Aberdeen. The Wraith Rovers really didn't offer an awful lot in an attacking sense in that second half, but of course just that one goal advantage, you never know if it's going to be enough. Ultimately it was, and Jackie, they'll be hoping, Aberdeen, I guess, that this could be similar to last season, where they were actually in a terrible run, but actually in terms of the league, but they were picking up actually more impressive, more convincing wins than they got this afternoon. But in the Scottish Cup, it did push them on. Can it be a catalyst for a side that has really struggled in recent times?
Absolutely. I thought Aberdeen started the season last year really well when Jimmy first came in. Then they kind of tailed off a little bit, maybe with injuries or different things that's happened to them. But then as the season went on, the cup competition really took them on, and win the cup at the end of the season. That's the best way to do it. It's been a long time since Aberdeen won it. So there's no reason why it can't happen again, especially this season.
Actually, for all the teams, Ryan, that are in it, it's only 3 weeks until the next round of the Cup. So the lovely thing is that you'll have a couple of league games, 2 or 3 league games you'll have to play in between, but you don't have to wait too long. If you do get through, you're very quickly back in action in the competition again.
Yeah, absolutely. I think pretty much all of them will be sitting in the house tonight looking at the draw and thinking, well, who are we going to get? We've got a real, as I said before the kick-off in this tie, I think everyone will be looking at it saying, we've got a chance here of going on and getting on a cup run, which is amazing. And it can, for the likes of Aberdeen, Dundee United and things like that, we know it can totally flip your season on its head. And then if you do go on a good cup run and you have been sort of lacklustre in the league, you'll look back at the end of the season and it's amazing, the fans just forget about all the rubbish. So it is so important that they go and they try and get into the next round, which they have. Can they get a good draw and then sort of kick on? And as you said, it's always good as well for players, for me especially, if we were getting further into the cup games, I always wanted to make sure, not that I ever wanted to play bad, but you always wanted to make sure you were bang at it in the league or the previous game before the cup game, so that you were going to be in the manager's thoughts to be playing, because you know you had a chance of going on a decent cup run. So I think it's wide open for MD. I think teams and I think players and management will be even looking at this game tonight. As I said, I know it's a difficult game for Celtic, but you're still looking there going, they still don't look that great. I watched, obviously I've done the Rangers game at the weekend and Friday night, and I know they ran out 5-0, but even the way they started the first half an hour, so it's wide open for everyone.
There's still one either or. Stranraer, Queen's Park, they will play on Tuesday night. That game was postponed because of a waterlogged pitch at Stair Park, but the other sides, we do know who are through. Right now Celtic are halfway towards booking their place. Going to be interesting, Jackie, to see in the early part of the second half if you get a reaction from Celtic to what you're anticipating will have been potentially quite strong words from Martin O'Neill.
Yeah, knowing Martin, knowing I've worked with him for 5 years, I know exactly what he said, what he'll be saying, what he'll be demanding from them, and not to be complacent, not to try and look good, get the job done. His goalkeeper to come and command that and grab it, and this other end, as I said, his striker to get a hold of it. There's 3 or 4 balls that's come into Ken, as I said, inside their 18-yard box. Martin's used to working with Hartsons and Suttons and Larsons, that ball sticks there, and you get midfield support with Petrov that come in there. That's what these guys are in there to do as a number 9, is get a hold of the ball, and when the chance comes, make sure they take their opportunities.
Right, the players heading back out onto the Rugby Park pitch. 45 minutes to go. Auchinleck Talbot 0, Celtic 1. Live second half commentary with Jackie McNamara, Ryan Stevenson and Thomas Duncan.
Thank you, Richard. Celtic were back out first, nice and early. Talbot players just fanning out now across the pitch as we get ready for the second half. Doesn't appear to be any changes to either team. So Martin O'Neill, of course, with a massive week for Celtic, won't want to tire any of his frontliners more than he has to with Bologna away in the Europa League on Thursday night. with a chance obviously to qualify still, and then Hearts at Tynecastle on Sunday, and then they've also got the final match in the Europa League against Utrecht. So it's a really important little period for Celtic, and he'll want to rest a few as best he can, and it is Celtic to get things underway, leading by a 1-0. Welsh, who, as I mentioned, obviously there's talk he might be going back to Motherwell in this window. That's the only place he can go now, because he can only play for 2 clubs in a season. So there was rumoured interest from Aberdeen among others, but he won't be playing for Aberdeen this season certainly, as Dane Murray controls and gives it over to Ralston, and Murray gets it back, passes it out to Forrest. Forrest inside with a pass to Ralston in the central midfield area, back to Murray. Murray across to Stephen Welsh. Welsh picks out Donovan, who will drive down this left-hand side, comes in on the right foot, and then he's looking for a run in the box, just gives it to McGregor a couple of yards, and McCowan on the touchline now. Back to Welsh. Good pressure from Luke Main, but Welsh gets it away to Dane Murray. Murray across to Forrest, and he's forced backwards, and it's all the way back to Murray again, and it's Welsh. And McCowan had made the run there, and he's still out there on this touchline, but Celtic work it to the other side now. Forrest goes on the outside, driving run, gets past his man, floats it into the centre of the box, and it's a glancing header at the near post, which drifts off target, and now the free kick has been given, I think, for the challenge on Forrest as he delivered that cross.
Yeah, I think he just caught him late just as he crossed it. Great play from Forrest there, very direct, more comfortable on the right hand side, and he just lifts it up to the back post area, but it was taken out late, which the referee's seen that, or the linesman's give it, I think.
Yeah, so it's a Celtic free kick, just a couple of yards from the byline over on the far side, and Celtic players lurking on the edge of the 6-yard box, and it comes right in there, and it's come off the top of the crossbar. I don't know if it was Welsh that got the touch on that, but it skimmed the top of the bar.
Yeah, I think it was Kenny just on top of it there, but again he should be over and heading it down the way. It should be another goal.
Yeah, it's guilty chance that as well. Good ball in there from McCowan, and got to finish that. But I think as Jackie's saying there, obviously Martin Neal's made the change where he's kept James Forrest on the right hand side, McCowan out here on the left hand side, and I think that will just be so they're on their natural foot to try and get to the byline, to try and get the balls crosses in from sort of closer towards the byline. But what I did see is obviously the free kick is given against James Forrest, but the Talbot right back as well left one on McCowan there as well, so you wonder if Tommy Sloan's been saying to them, listen, they 2 boys have been the best players for Celtic in that first half. If you get the opportunity, just leave one on them.
Chested down by Crooks for Talbot, and then it's taken away from him and goes out to Sean Bill, and he knocks it back to McPherson, the captain. And almost a decade at Auchinleck Talbot, so many West of Scotland Super League successes as well as Junior Cup success. Brilliant from McAvoy, right hand side of the box, low cross into the 6-yard box, and it's away by Murray. Good play from Kyle McAvoy down the side of the box.
That was some touch, some turn, getting down the line.
He's got to beat the first man with the cross there, isn't he? But he did really well getting away from Donovan.
Exactly what Jackie's saying there, just can you beat the first man, can you put a bit more pace on the ball just to ask a question.
Balaquisha intercepts, and he's taken on a run down the left hand side by Ross Clark.
I think that's the biggest thing for Talbot, is they might get one chance at this, one good cross, and it might be a defender scarfs it and it goes in or something, but when they get into the areas they have to make it count.
Dane Murray steps outside the centre circle and then drives forward past one, but then offloads to Ralston. Now McGregor. McCowan's wide on this side, and that's where the ball goes. McCowan comes inside into the box through the legs for McGregor, tried to return it to McCowan, and allows a challenge to come in, and it's actually gone for a Talbot throw-in deep in their own half, but still looking fairly comfortable, Auchinleck Talbot, in terms of defending their own penalty area. But yeah, I just wonder, as you guys were saying, getting the wingers on their natural foot, just widens the pitch a bit instead of taking it on the back foot all the time.
Yeah, especially the first half. It's different if you're creating that overload. But Donovan's not comfortable on his left foot, so he wasn't going beyond. Forrestford coming inside, another side as well. Ralston, although he did get in once and he cut it back quite well for Balakisha, should have scored, but it doesn't do it enough.
Here's Balakisha, takes it down and gets it away to McCowan, who's on the run. McCowan pursued by Clark, and then ball into the 6-yard box, but it's well taken by the goalkeeper Muir down low as it skipped off the turf. Tricky one, but he dealt with it.
Maybe not the best ball in, but again, I still think as soon as Luke takes that first touch, somebody, if it's Kenny, they have to just be busting to get in the box.
I actually thought he could have taken another touch there.
Yeah, probably.
Balakisha for McCowan. McCowan trying to take on McPherson, the big experienced defender, gets a tackle in. It's won by Auchinleck, and Austin Syme keeps hold of it and rolls it out to the far side for Luke Main. Main is on the touchline, takes it inside Ralston, but Forrest takes it off him, and now Forrest going into the box, sliding challenge. Forrest recovers and managed to get back on the ball, and then he lines up the strike with the left foot, but it's always heading wide of the target.
Yeah, just pushed him wider and wider there, Talbot. Good defending, but actually he could have actually went down there edge of the box.
Yeah, probably should have just
done his feet there.
Should have just dropped as soon as he felt the contact. He dropped down, get the free kick. But I think, as Jackie's saying there, it was good defending from Talbot, just ushering him into the sort of middle of the park, 20 odd yards from goal on his weak foot. They'll be happy with that. I'm having a shot from there. But it's been actually, Celtic have actually started reasonably well, but so have Talbot as well. So we'll see how it goes.
There's a little slip from Murray there, and it's brought down by Boyd, and he's tussling with Ralston, then he's late in with the challenge on the Scotland International. Free kick to Celtic.
I just wonder at what stage the 11 Talbot players, how long they actually can last with this pace before Tommy Sloan looks at bringing a substitution on.
Especially after they warmed up for 2 hours.
I know.
No sign of Ewan Thompson in their squad as a kind of key attacking player for them. Scored the winning penalty against Cumnock in the first round, so must have an injury, which is a shame for him. It's out to the far side touchline for Celtic, who still just lead by the one goal from Johnny Kenny to 0 against Auchinleck. 52 minutes played at Rugby Park, the rain coming down, and it's McCowan controls and goes back to Stephen Welsh across to Dane Murray. Murray opens it up and finds Forrest on the touchline. Seanville gets out to Forrest. Forrest into Bernardo, back to Forrest. Forrest leaves it for Ralston, and now Murray back to Ralston. Ralston is going to send it into the box. Low sliding challenge, clears it out to the far side, but Forrest picks up. Forrest driving for the byline. Forrest stands it up, punched from Muir. Bernardo's waiting, but the defender gets in first, who was Ross Clark. Ralston now curls one to the back post this time. McCowan is waiting as it bounces. Now he controls right on the fringe of the area. McCowan across to Donovan. Donovan on his right foot slides it to Ralston. Ralston across to Forrest on the other side now. Forrest into the area. Slow progress back to Callum McGregor onto that left foot and blazes it into the stands.
Patient build up for Celtic there. Expect Callum to hit the target, but he's just leaning back there and sent it way into the stand. But good pressure for Celtic.
You just had visions of that goal against St Mirren, didn't you? I'm taking the touch and then smashing it in the top corner. But again, I think the only way Celtic are really, the way they look is dangerous, is what they do is when they do get to the byline. Obviously the goal comes from it in the first half. I think every time they sort of go back out and they need to try and recycle it and come out the other side, but any time it sort of goes back and forth, they're kind of playing into Talbot's hands, because it lets them just sit in, get themselves together.
Header down by Welsh. Gillies plays it forward, chested by Luke Main, and he lays it to Gillies, and McAvoy's in support, and he goes from distance for the strike. Gillies, he saw his name up in lights there.
He did. I mean, it's good play. And then as soon as he takes his first touch, he probably doesn't realise that he's 40 yards out, but if he just keeps running with that, he's clean through and goal. I mean, it's been a good passage of play there, a good little 1-2. And as you said, he's probably taken that touch there and seen the goalkeeper and thought, oh, this is my time.
Yeah.
But, and then ends up just sort of no power in the shot and going through to the Celtic goalkeeper.
Yeah, it was. He did well to keep it low and on target, but would have taken something special to beat Sinisalo from that distance. And here comes Forrest, weaving in the pitch. Avoids one challenge, then squeezes it to Balaquisha, lays it back to James Forrest, onto the left foot, but gives it to McCowan inside the area, right-footed shot, blocked by Clark. And McCowan goes after it, keeps it in on this near side, avoids the pressure and gives it to McGregor. McGregor to Dane Murray, Murray to Bernardo, and now Forrest, who's popping up everywhere in this second half. We've played 10 minutes of it and it's still Auchinleck Talbot 0, Celtic 1 in the Scottish Cup, live on Sportsound on BBC Radio Scotland Extra, digital medium wave online. Colby Donovan gives it to Callum McGregor. McGregor across to Murray. It opens up for the centre half to shoot, but he lays it to Ralston. Now it's Forrest on the far side. Forrest on the corner of the box, sends it in low. Driving header is away by Aidan Wilson. McGregor heads it down to the feet of Donovan. He's immediately put pressure on by Boyd, and then McPherson does well to control it on the edge of his own box and forces it away down the field. McCowan to Balaquisha. Balaquisha back to McGregor and Murray. And out to Forrest. Run beyond by Ralston, checks back, holds off the challenge, squeezes the pass away to Forrest, in line with the edge of the 18. It's into the box, and it's on the turn from Kenny, and he splashed the effort, and it dribbles through to Willie Moore. Stays 1-0.
He's got to lay him back there, hasn't he, Jackie?
Just before it, Kenny's got to get a hold of the ball. He's laying it off first time there. He's inside the box, nobody can touch him. He's got to bring somebody into play or lay it back for a shot.
Don't know whether that's just, is it young naivety, but again, even at that stage, you've still got to understand the game and where you are. And I think, as Jackie said, as soon as it goes into him there, he's got to lay it back.
Chance for a break for Celtic as Balaquisha finds McCowan, who plays it off McPherson, and it's a Celtic corner. That was a fast break from Celtic. One of the only opportunities they've had to counter-attack Talbot, who momentarily got up the pitch. And the corner is pulled to Donovan on the edge of the box, right-footed striking away by Seanville. Bounces and out for a throw on the near side. Still just the one goal in it, as we've played nearly 57 minutes at Rugby Park. McGregor gives it to Bernardo. Bernardo to Ralston. Ralston across to Forrest. Forrest, who's looked the most threatening, and again, and wins the corner as Seanville slid in. Had to time that well, and he did, the left back.
Yeah, it's good play from James Forrest again. He's positive, and good defending from Talbot in the same sense, but he is the one that is asking questions.
Corner on the far side. Paulo Bernardo is going to take it with a right foot. Be an outswinger. 3 minutes shy of the hour mark. Celtic 1-0 up. Here it comes. Edge of the 6-yard area. Welsh gets a header on it and it drops into the path of Johnny Kenny in there, but it was a really unconvincing strike from the Irishman. He just looks like a player lacking confidence, which is strange given he's the only scorer in this game so far.
I think in that situation he could have probably taken a touch there.
He took a touch, yeah. He just, as I said, he didn't believe it himself when he hit that.
Welsh into Bernardo on the edge of the area. Good feet from Bernardo. Excellent sliding challenge from McPherson. Welsh works it onto the right foot, strikes from distance, and it flashes wide of Muir's goal. Auchinleck 0, Celtic 1.
Yeah, it was unlucky for Welsh there. He just dropped the shoulder and just opened up for him, trying to find the top corner. But good pressure for Celtic again. They're looking for a second.
And that's what it might take. It might take a centre half just breaking. I mean, he's a centre half, Celtic centre half, and he's 20 yards for goal. So it might take a centre half just to break it down, take a touch, have a shot, and it goes in, and then it changes the complexion of the game. But I mean, if I was Celtic, I was saying it obviously to Jackie at half time there about bringing people on. I would be looking at changing it as well, just to even see if it gives a bit of impotence into the game, a bit more. Get somebody on Maida, something that's a bit sharper to go and run at the Talbot back line.
Breaks for Kenny here, just over halfway. Does well to hold it and rolls it to Ralston, who's on the run, and then he slides in Forrest. He's inside the area. It's James Forrest. The cross comes in, and Johnny Kenny's looking at the referee because he went down into the AstroTurf, claimed he was impeded. The referee, who is Ross Hardy, says no.
Yeah, I'd like to see that again. He's claiming for a penalty there, but you know, a great move from Celtic. Great way to pass for Ralston and Forrest in there, but yeah, I don't know if there was much contact there.
Yeah, Forrest pulled it back, expecting someone to be there, but he hadn't seen that Kenny had lost his footing.
I'm being nitpicky here, but I want my Celtic centre ball to be flinging the Auchinleck Talbot boy to the ground.
Yeah.
Not the other way around about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Dane Murray over to Forrest, who continues to be the brightest spark, I would say, for Celtic in this game. The 8-time Scottish Cup winner is Welsh. Gives it to McGregor. McGregor to Ralston. Ralston to Forrest. Forrest exchanges, passes with Ralston, and he's on the outside. And well marshalled again, though. Needs to nick it off the defender for a corner kick.
It's good play from James again. It's just he's the only one that really looking to play a wee give and go there. He obviously takes his touch back towards his own goal, then outside his right boot plays the 1-2, trying to get in behind again. Good play to get the corner and good defending from the Talbot side.
Bernardo on the far side will try and deliver. And it comes, out swinger and headed away by Crooks. Next comes to the Forrest in the corner of the box, then on the left foot, and then goes with the outside of the right to find the pass to McCowan, who curls it into the box. There's the header over the top, and well, chance goes for Colby Donovan to make it 2-0 to Celtic. Wasn't the easiest chance, it doesn't hit the target.
Yeah, it was a good ball in from McCowan. I actually think there was two went behind. I thought Forrest, if he's screaming at him to leave it, he could have, I thought they were onside.
I think James, he's made that sort of deep run there and he's looking for it, and McCowan plays a good ball in. Donut, it's probably just behind him, isn't it? You can see he's trying to stretch at it to try and get some power on the header into that sort of top corner. But good play again from Celtic. They just need to keep chapping away again. I think that I'd be like to bring a couple of subs on just to try
Forrest
coming off, and Sebastian Tunekti is going to come on for Celtic.
Yeah, I'd be raging if I was him, unless he's injured or
he's took a couple of sore ones. But
I mean, I'd be the fact that he's not I've not played as much. If I'm him, you're playing well. I think he's been Celtic's best player. Probably wouldn't say it to Martin in his face right enough, but I wouldn't be happy.
Again, maybe the way it's been with James, give him an hour.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If he's not played,
it's a big week coming up.
If he's not played as much football, that might be too much load on him.
So that's the only change for now. Down in front of us is Willie Muir. The Talbot keeper was getting some treatment, which allowed the players to get some water on.
McCowan's back over to right now.
Yeah.
So interesting change. See how that affects things. 62 minutes played at Rugby Park. Auchinleck Talbot 0, Celtic 1, live on Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland's extra, headed up by Boyd and down by Bernardo, and it goes in behind, or almost in behind the Celtic defence, but alert stuff from Welsh to clear it. Bernardo, it's a poor pass in midfield straight to Ross Clark, and the right back's got pace. He'll motor forward. On the pass looked like it was on there. It still is for McAvoy. He's on the byline. He scooped it behind the near post, and it looked like he was trying to cross it and just never got hold of it, and the chance disappears.
That's great play as well from Ross Clark, and then a great actually busting by the Celtic winger, then playing the ball in behind. But
a great way to pass from him. He's got to do better.
Got to do better there.
That's a good ball in behind looking for Kenny. The sliding challenger breaks for Kenny. Dinked finish. It's in.
Fantastic finish.
Oh, what a finish. Oh, flags up. Flags up. Won't count for now. It'll be looked at by VAR. Kenny was well wide of the goal. Keeper came out and he just clips it over him, and it lands in the side netting on the near post side. Lovely finish, but for now anyway, it won't stand. Stays 1-0.
Yeah, fair play to him. I thought he took it really well, just lifting it over the goalkeeper into the back post, and we'll wait and see what VAR.
I tell you, see, to be fair, he would frustrate me, but he's obviously young. But see, his two finishes there, especially that one, was absolutely outstanding. But see,
I actually think he'd be better as a second striker.
Yeah, having somebody
else up there. A big target man beside him, he'll go in behind, and because he has got a wee bit of pace.
Yeah.
Everything, he doesn't want the ball into his feet. He wants it in behind like that.
Yeah, to run in.
Yeah.
So this is Auchinleck Talbot's first experience with VAR, I think, as the lines are now drawn.
Yeah, we don't have that. We don't have that at the junior level.
I was trying to think of when they played Hearts in 2022, but that was at Beechwood, wasn't it? Yeah. So they wouldn't have had VAR
couple of old guys standing
bar
used to. Yeah. Down at Beechwood, there's a couple of old guys just standing saying, "No, I think that was offside there."
Yeah. So it's Liam Scales looks like he's going to.
But what I will say is,
so it won't count, and the Talbot fans celebrate.
Talbot have got away with one there. So again, they have an amazing opportunity where Clark plays it in. They have an opportunity to get a good cross into the box. They don't, and then Celtic basically run up the park and score. So I mean, a little warning there, the fact that they've got off with one.
to...
It was a great finish from Kenny.
It was, yeah. It's knocked back to Dane Murray. I thought Liam Scales briefly appeared on the touchline there. I wonder if he's now Nygren as well as taking his warm-up gear off, so a couple of changes imminent for Celtic. 65 minutes played. Auchinleck Talbot 0, Celtic 1. Here's Callum McGregor, gives it to Dane Murray. The West of Scotland Premier Division side still in this game. Kenny with one, another just chopped off for offside. And it's Welsh out to Tunekti. This will be his first touch. He takes on Clark and then dinks it in. Pull back, Balakwisha's header. Should do better. He just glances it right across the face and it runs out the far side.
Good play from Tunekti there, just getting positive again down the line. Gets half a yard, good ball in. And just that little flick that takes it away to the other side. But good play from the substitute.
And here he comes inside this time, Tunekti. And across to Welsh. Welsh to Dane Murray. Square for Welsh and Donovan and Tunekti. Tunekti, fast feet inside. Balakwisha takes a touch, blocked. Superb challenge from McPherson. That was heading for the target. Welsh gathers just at halfway. Benjamin Nygren is Celtic's top scorer this season. He's taking a drink of water. Liam Scales doing a bit of a warm-up as well. As Tunekti comes inside the pitch, lays it to Donovan. Donovan across to Dane Murray. He opens up onto the right foot. He stops and then plays it into the box for Johnny Kenny. First time strike. Comes off Wilson and behind for a corner.
Yeah, good patient build-up again from Celtic. Nice pass from Murray there, just down inside, and Kenny gets his shot away, but it's a tight angle there for to score from there. But
you can see he's got a little bit of confidence now, as you're saying. He's making the runs in behind. I think for him it's just really learning that other side of the game. When it does come into you, just hold it up, lay it off, get yourself in the box. There's no doubt there's a player in there as well.
So Stephen Welsh has been withdrawn for Liam Scales, and Michel Balakwisha replaces Benjamin Nygren. Balakwisha not really done enough, Jackie.
No, he had a good chance in the first half and little flashes here. He actually had a good touch a few minutes ago and he had his shot away, which was well blocked, but he should be doing more for me.
He should be, especially with money paid for them.
Yeah.
Money paid for him.
I'm still not sure what his best position is. You know, even watching tonight, he keeps drifting away in at times on the left-hand side, but not enough end product.
Celtic corner, in-swinger to the near post, away by Gillis. And Bernardo will scamper after it and keep it in on the far side touchline in front of the East stand. Still just the 1-0 for Celtic at Rugby Park against Auchinleck Talbot. The Ayrshire side, who have brought the whole village with them up 15 or so miles north to Kilmarnock for this game, which was moved as Scales controls and gives it to Tunekti. Tunekti in on the right foot, and then he was looking for Nygren. It breaks back to Nygren, and then touch from Bernardo, cleared by McPherson. Out for a throw-in just down in front of us, where Martin O'Neill is watching on. And Scales coming into that left centre-back position and just to try and give Celtic that more balance and maybe try and find Tunekti a bit more, as he does here. Tunekti, he's got two to beat in front of him, gets in on the right foot, then gives it to Nygren, who tried to return to Tunekti, blocked by Talbot, and Ross Clark has it, and Nygren bundles him to the ground. Free kick to Auchinleck.
It's a silly foul there from you guys.
It's good play for Clark there, but it's a silly foul.
Well, Talbot still in this cup tie, and who would have thought of that as we hit 60.5 minutes.
They must be looking at making a substitution. I'm just thinking there's 20 minutes to go here, and the energy and the miles that they boys, they'll not even have GPS things on them. I would love to know how many kilometres they've done in the game, but I wonder if it goes another 10 minutes, do you just go for it and try and maybe put two up front, and if you lose a second goal, it is what it is.
So Celtic come forward through Dane Murray. Oh, and it's into the box, good touch, a lovely feet, and it's cut back and headed away by Talbot and thumped down the field by Schoenville. It's McCowan was alert there, but just things not quite coming off for Celtic when they get into positions to deliver. And then Sinisalo, and
see, this is the kind of thing that gives Talbot a lift, isn't it? Nothing, no pressure there, the goalkeeper, and it just changes the whole complexion there.
That's why I dislike goalkeepers so much, honestly.
He let it come for ages onto his right foot, and then just scoops it out the pitch. It was just a...
You would actually rather he just smashed it up the pitch.
It's it bounces here for Luke Main, and he's able to turn and face Callum McGregor, recovers and takes it off him. Now it's Tunekti in his own half, gives it to Liam Scales, steps into midfield, and Ralston offers, and Main got a challenge in, but illegally so, and Scales is clutching his shin there, but he looks okay, gets to his feet. Donovan now to Tunekti on the touchline. Tunekti, and he goes past Clark, who's tugging his jersey there. Looked like a free kick. Now Ross Hardy,
the referee's got to see that there. He's pulled his jersey.
Yeah, it was blatant. Now Talbot come forward. Scales' header flicked away into space for Bernardo to chase. That was as blatant a shirt pull as you'll see.
Yeah.
As
it was only the two hands.
Referee,
but if I was Celtic, I'd be literally just getting the ball to him every single time. He's been really, really bright since he came on.
Here he is, going inside, and then wanted Nygren to run beyond, but he didn't do so. And now it's a lovely bit of play from Austin Syme, and he gets up to McAvoy. He's backing into Scales, and he's to turn him, and is hauled to the turf, and it's a free kick. Talking like Talbot, just as McAvoy cramps up.
He's cramped. Yeah, he does well there. And Scales gets too tight to him and just turns him and wins the foul, but takes the pressure off his defence.
Yeah, he's a big boy. Kyle McAvoy scored an overhead kick against Haddington in the preliminary round. Him and Boyd have been pretty prolific in the competition. It's played forward by McPherson, and he's looking for Boyd, but headed by Donovan. Down to Tunekti from McGregor, back to Tunekti. And then Donovan, and Celtic not really going anywhere, but they recycle it into their own box to Scales. Still just 1-0 to Celtic against Auchinleck Talbot as we hit the final quarter of this game, as it's over to the far side, and it's back to Dane Murray. McGregor to Nygren. Good footwork from Nygren to keep hold of that ball, and he gives it to Tunekti on the left corner of the box. Tunekti up against Clark, goes past him, and it's a good recovery from the right back. He protests it was a goal kick, but the corner is given.
Did well.
Good play, Ross Clark. Good defending. I mean, there's many people that he'll go past there, but Ross Clark sticks to his guns. Good defending, stops the cross, gives them the opportunity now to sort of get back into the ranks and try and defend the corner.
They go short. Tunekti, McGregor, Bernardo, corner of the area, curls one in, header away by Talbot to McGregor, and then Ralston, and then McCowan, McGregor fizzes it into Tunekti onto the right foot, finds Nygren, back out to McGregor slides it back to Tunekti up against Clark once more, goes on the outside of him, and then this time he gets the ball and it bounces to the edge of the 6-yard box, and Seanville, brilliant intervention at the back post to clear that away to prevent a potential tap-in. McGregor receives the throw-in, goes back to Scales. Celtic looking to just kill this game, because with 17 minutes left, still just the one goal in it. Murray comes forwards, gives it to Ralston, out now to the right hand side, and the reverse pass just trundles out for a goal kick. Sloppy from Celtic, still 1-0. And the longer it stays that way, the more belief Auchinleck Talbot will have. The challenge is getting themselves up the pitch.
I think get back onto that cross there. McCowan got to be coming flying in at the back post there, because it's a great cross in. Can he sort of be busting a gut to get in there and get that vital second goal? Again, I'm looking down at Tommy Sloan here, and I think somebody is getting ready to come on. But I mean, the energy that the boys have put in, and at what stage, as you're saying there, 17 odd minutes to go, do they just go, do you know what, let's just go for this?
McAvoy down the right, brilliant footwork to find Clark, and a back heel reverse to McAvoy. He's got 3 hooked jerseys in front of him, McAvoy, and then tries to give it back to Clark, and Clark had made the inside run, and it goes out from goal kick. But the Talbot fans got excited there.
Yeah, good play again, a good combination play where there's a little 1-2, a wee back heel, The only problem was Clark had then went offside, so he couldn't get it back to him. But I mean, good play again for Talbot. They're giving as good as they get, to be fair.
Yeah.
They're sitting in their shape. Yeah. They're doing everything they have to do, and you can see they're trying. Anytime they do get up the park, they're trying to find an opening. Just that little bit of quality when you get in that final third, which we all know is the biggest thing.
Been really impressed with Ross Clark. When I watched him against Cumnock, he was outstanding and won the last minute penalty just with driving, running pace. But to see it against this level of opposition, he's been brilliant at right back, having played at Aberdeen Uni up the road in the northeast for a few years, and then work brought him back down Central Beltway, and he's now with Talbot. Looks a really good player as Tenecti runs infield, gives it to Scales. Scales rolls it with the studs, and Celtic compressing the pitch, standing halfway up Talbot's half with their back line. Tenecti for Negrin to Donovan, and now to Scales. Scales to McGregor, back to Scales, curling cross, run beyond, header wide. Oh, what a chance from Ralston. It was a well-timed run, he got the contact on it, but he can't steer it on target.
Yeah, fantastic ball for Scales there. Late run, he sees him coming into the back post area. I think he hits the target, it's a goal there.
Yeah. He's tried to do the right thing. It's probably the wrong person you want it to go to with their head, isn't it, a defender? But he's actually trying to do the right thing, and it's just literally ghosted past the right hand post of the Talbot goalkeeper.
Willie Muir, the keeper, who has not been as busy a man as you would have expected when he woke up this morning, has had to pick the ball at the net just once, and only another couple of saves really. As it breaks for Schonville over on the far side, he's taking a heavy touch, does keep it in though, and whizzes it forward to Boyd. He's out-muscled, and Celtic have it. Negrin lays it back to McGregor, and Tenecti's in space. If McGregor can find him, he can. Good touch from Tenecti with the outside of the right boot, and now he can drive forward, but who is there but Ross Clark to make a superbly timed challenge. And now McAvoy, good feet from him, gives it to Clark, who's on his bike again, going forward. He's got no support, he just puts the head down, pins his ears back, and then launches it into the box. It drifts momentarily towards the target and then behind, but he had nothing left there.
He had absolutely nothing left to give, and he had nothing really on, but as soon as he hit that, I thought, that's going to, you've seen him getting over the goalkeeper and getting the top corner. But again, his hands at the top of his head right now. He's been absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, he's been excellent.
Outstanding.
He's been Auchinleck's best player tonight.
Yep, magnificent from him. As Scales carries out from the back. Still just Auchinleck Talbot 0, Celtic 1 as the clock strikes 77 minutes.
And he shall sleep well tonight, I'll tell you that.
It's out to Ralston. Ralston across to McCowan. McCowan jinks inside the defender. That's brilliant from McCowan. Puts the head down, edge of the box. Negrin takes on the turn. Is this the chance? Brilliant save from Muir. And now it's back to McCowan. Curls it into the box. Bounces into Tenecti. Goes after it. He'll keep it in and then passes it to Negrin. And Negrin with a poor one straight behind. Goal kick.
Great play from McCowan there. Negrin, you'd fancy him. You know, he's Celtic's top scorer this season so far. You expect to hit that at the net there.
I think as soon as he comes inside McCowan and then he goes down the line, cuts it back to Negrin. As soon as he takes his touch, I'm thinking goal. You're just expecting it to be a goal there, but it doesn't happen for Celtic. And I guess kind of the story of the day, hasn't it? It's sort of been getting into, I'm going to say good positions, half decent positions, and just that bit of quality you expect a Celtic player to have. It just hasn't worked for him today.
Injury at left back to Scott Schonville, who is going to be replaced by Aidan Wilson, who was a Celtic youth player at one time. So nice moment for him, going to fill in at left back, and Scott Schonville goes round the pitch in front of the Celtic fans. He's limping, but a good shift from him on that far side as well. As the clock inches closer to the 80-minute mark, and this goal kick is yet to be taken as they are lacking a ball, but Willie Muir bounces it. Highlights to come of all the Scottish Cup action tonight on Sports Scene, 10:30, BBC One Scotland, available on the iPlayer, where you also get mini highlights edits from the games. Watch your team, and all the reaction to come live on Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland, as well as at the BBC Sports Scotland website. Negrin back to Donovan, and we've got midweek action as well Livingston against St Mirren, the rear age Premiership game during the week. Celtic Bologna Thursday night, and then a massive weekend in the Premiership with Celtic Hearts on Sunday, given away by Celtic at the back, and they get away with it. Murray controls and gives it to Scales and out to Tenecti. Bit of space before McAvoy gets back in, and that forces him back to Donovan with a pass. Scales to Murray. McCowan on the right hand side. McCowan up against the substitute Wilson, gets onto the left foot, sends it into the box. Header by McPherson, and it bounces and hits a knee away, only as far as Donovan. Scales, Murray, and McCowan. And Scales in the bright green boots comes to the near side and then gives it to Callum McGregor. 10 minutes left, plus stoppages. Auchinleck 0, Celtic 1. And it's down the side of the box for Bernardo to chase, and then he gets it away, and the keeper's fumbled it, and then Tenectes, and Kenny takes a swipe at it, and then he blazes it off target. It's taking a deflection on its way through. In fact, corner kick. Good defending.
Great defending. Yeah, putting their bodies on the line there, and again, I thought it was over-hit there to Ralston. He did well to scoof it back out.
I actually thought it was a poor ball, and he does really well there, Ralston, to get something onto it, to cross it in, and sort of just pinballing about there. Balls to one of the Celtic players. Great defending again from Talbot, just to get their bodies on the line to try and block anything going towards their goal.
It's Bernardo to take this corner on the near sides. Numbers queuing up in the 6-yard box, sent in on top of the goalkeeper, who punches it, comes to the edge of the box, and McGregor passes it to McCowan, who sends it back in over to this near side to Bernardo. Tenecti's on the overlap, he finds him with a pass. Tenecti cuts it back, Nygren with a touch, it bounces, finish, shot wide. Oh, what a chance for Donovan as it fell to him, couldn't find the inside of the post.
Yeah, he just tried to side foot it there at the back post, but I think he's got to score that as well.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to use the Talbot defenders as a sort of barrier, just to sort of hit it with the inside of his foot and cut it into that far bottom corner. But again, it just goes too straight. But again, a player of Celtic's quality, you're expecting him just to go on and hit that straight away and see it go in the goal.
Kyle McAvoy is off to a standing ovation from the Talbot fans. What a shift he's put in. Hug from his manager, and Alex Nimmo, 21-year-old who's come through the ranks at Talbot, gets his chance to play against the Scottish champions, who still only lead by a goal to nil with 8 minutes plus stoppage time left in this Scottish Cup 4th round tie. Draw to follow. On Sports Sound with us, teams already through, including Rangers, Dunfermline, Airdrie, Elgin, Dundee United, Celtic Hearts. Donovan's going to go after this as he lets it run for a goal kick. Yeah, Dundee, St Mirren, Motherwell, Partick Thistle, Spartans, Stenhousemuir, Falkirk, and then Stranraer and Queen's Park play their rearranged game on Tuesday night. Celtic on course to be in the hat, along with Aberdeen as well, who beat Raith Rovers 1-0 earlier. Liam Scales sends it in behind. Their run has been made beyond, but good defending from McPherson, who's been a colossus back there, as McGregor.
I think as Jackie was saying in the first half, the Scales gets the ball and he's basically coming up to the halfway line, and he shouldn't even really be thinking about it. He should just be taking a touch here and smashing it in a diagonal out wide to McCowan, and he does it, and he tries to go over the top, and he's just sort of playing into Talbot's hands down the middle of the pitch where it's so congested.
And the pass over to the far side now for McCowan. Inside ball for Ralston, he's in the box, flashes it across, and there's a touch from Kenny, but the defender got his body in again to take it behind for a corner.
Great defending again.
Celtic want to take it quickly, but the referee is going to...
Well, Ralston should actually made sure he's crossed there.
Yeah. But again, it
just fizzed it.
It's the only time that they sort of look dangerous is when they get it out wide quickly and they get maybe Ralston running in behind, or McCowan has a go at the full back.
It was McPherson again, and the corner was halted because he was still getting to his feet as the low ball in is flicked with a back heel at the near post. Not a good corner from Celtic. Wilson, Kerr scoops it away, and Murray. Pass almost drifted out, but Celtic kept it in, and it's McGregor on halfway. Celtic, well, comfortable at 1-0 at the moment, but only takes one set piece or something if Talbot can get themselves up the pitch. But some tired legs out there. Celtic on the ball at the moment. Scales goes across to Dane Murray. Murray Stops in the centre circle, and not enough urgency really about Celtic. They are in control of the ball, of the game, but could do with adding a second. Kenny had one ruled out for offside earlier as Tinekti controls that diagonal switch with the chest, and he's trying to get away from Luke Main, but excellently marshalled, and it's McGregor now. McGregor to Murray, back to McGregor. McGregor into Nygren, first time to Colby Donovan. Donovan to Tinekti, left hand side of the box. Jinxon on the right foot, and he strikes from distance. It's a beauty! It's an absolute stunner from Sebastian Tinekti, and that will seal it for Celtic. And Talbot's very stiff resistance and brave performance. Well, it's been undone in the end with an absolute screamer from Sebastian Tinekti, and it is Auchinleck Talbot 0, Celtic 2.
Fantastic finish. Again, I think he's done well since he came on. Just opens up for him there, and he puts it right in the far top corner. But that's a big relief.
Yeah, well, as I said, I think is echoing your point there. I think since he came on, he's looked lively, he's looked really good. And as soon as he comes in, he looks like that kind of player that wants to get it back on, cut inside, back onto his right foot. I mean, that's an amazing finish. He's just curled, power, pace right into the top corner. Takes a lot of pressure off Celtic. From a Talbot point of view, you'd be disappointed because you just want to show him down the line. You'd rather be down the line and crossed it in, and then you take your chances on the cross. But great play, great winner play.
Now they're taking off Callum McGregor now and resting him, but I think he would like to have done that after an hour.
I think the way
the game's going,
as soon as it went to 60 minutes, you'd have been happy taking him off there. But
so Reo Hitati and Shin Yamada are on for Callum McGregor and Johnny Kenny. Luke Main is off for Talbot. Applauds the fans. They're bringing on Kieran Wood and also Rowendo Kazoka the final few minutes. Tommy Sloan gets a few of his substitutes the chance to say they played against Celtic. Well, that was some strike from Sebastian Tinekti, but it's taken 86 minutes for Celtic to get the second goal.
That's as good a goal as you'll get to win a cup tie, to be fair. But I think from a Celtic point of view, Martin O'Neill will stand there today and he's learnt a lot about players who are on the fringe, because he'll go away and his backroom staff will sit and have a meeting and they'll say, I don't think he grasped his opportunity, don't think he done well enough, I think he did do well enough when he came on, or Jamesy Forrest done, I think, well. McCowan, I think, tried his hardest, looked busy, tried to make things happen, but I think there's been too many of them that have kind of went through the motions in a sense.
Sinisalo.
I don't think we had too many banging his door.
No, well, I mean, that's the thing. I said it on Friday night at the Rangers game as well, was for the manager, I think it's a win-win, because at the end of the day, all you care about is you're in the next round of the Cup. But it also gives you the opportunity, if any of these players come and chap your door, you can just say, and how did you play against Auchinleck? And don't let the door hit you on the way back out.
Well, Ross Clark has hurt his calf here. I don't know if it's just cramped kicking in as he put in yet another sliding challenge, and hopefully he's not injured badly, and it's just a bit of lactic acid.
I think it's cramp there. The shift he's put in, I think he's been excellent for him. You know, to James Forrest in the first half, and Tinekti in the second half. It's not been an easy night for him, but I think he's been excellent.
Yeah, he's getting stretched out now by the Talbot physios down in front of us. It's well, the Ayrshire side have done themselves proud here at Rugby Park with 2 minutes left of the 90 minutes, trailing by 2-0. One from Kenny in the first half, and Tinekti's beauty a couple of minutes ago. There's a difference, and Celtic have had plenty of chances. It's not been vintage stuff from their second string, but they're going to be in the hat from the next round as the Auchinleck fans find their voice. They salute their team, and Ross Clark, who, well, I'll be surprised if he's able to continue here. And he looks completely shot. He's given some shift as Hitati. I
hope he's booked tomorrow off work.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of these players will be going back to their work tomorrow. As goes back to Sinisalo, who looks it's kind of strange to say has looked unconvincing when he's not really had a save to make, but he flapped it across. He played one straight out the pitch, and
I think this was a big opportunity for him as well, because I think obviously there's been a lot of things said about Kasper Schmeichel and how he's performed in, this season as well. So even for him coming in, if I'm him, I'm thinking, yeah, I need to do everything sharp, get on the ball, make sure my kicking's good, my handling's good, because then I can go to the manager and say, listen, I want to be playing in the league. But I don't think he's done it.
Liam Scales back to Sinisalo. Celtic very comfortable now. Daylight, and it will be, they hope, third straight clean sheet as well. This one rather more expected for Martin O'Neill since his return. As Sinisalo takes it towards the edge of his penalty area and plays it up the line. It's won by Talbot, comes off the shoulder of Austin Syme and then out to Boyd, and then Syme turns round, challenged by Yamada, and it's Tunekte, and he finds the pass to McCowan, and it's threaded in behind. Good run, it's Shin Yamada looking to make it 3. Excellent block by McPherson. Superb defending from the Talbot captain. Seems to pop up everywhere, making blocks and tackles. Nutmeg from Tunekte into the box, gives it to Hatate, and now Donovan. Hatate on this near side, back to Liam Scales. Now we're into 90 minutes. Didn't catch the board going up there, don't know if it's gone up yet. It's 3 minutes, I'm being told, been added at the end of the 90. And Celtic just seen this game out, although want to do it with another goal, as Tunekte gives it back to Scales. Scales across to Murray and Bernardo and Nygren, and out to the far side of McCowan, inside for Nygren and the foot gives it to Bernardo, and Scales under a bit of pressure squeezes the pass through to Hatate facing the goal, goes out to the right hand side in Ralston to McCowan, into the box. Nygren tries to turn, still got it. Nygren's shot blocked, and then goes through to Willie Muir, the goalkeeper. Stays 2-0. Muir blasts it downfield for Boyd, who's battling with Scales, and he actually wins the header, but he's got no support, and it'll trundle towards the touchline, and Obi Donovan picks up and knocks to Sinisalo. Been some excellent performers for Auchinleck Talbot this evening at Rugby Park. Mentioned Clark, McPherson, and every one of them's put a shift in.
Yeah, McAvoy as well. I think he's worked really hard. But for me, McPherson's been the standout, him and Clark, especially the important tackles he's had.
10,700 as the crowd announced at Rugby Park. Tremendous effort from the village of Auchinleck, and Celtic fans have made the journey as well, as it's headed down by the midfielder, and it's picked up by Scales. Feeds Nygren, and seconds remaining now, and it's a good ball for Ralston, crossing, Yamada's there, doesn't get there, and then it's played out for a corner on this near side to Celtic. This will probably be the last play, as Ross Clark is named the man of the match over the stadium tannoy, and I don't think many will argue with that. As goes across to Luke McCowan to Tunekte stops and gets it onto the right foot from about the mark that he scored from, but he goes down the other side now and then curls the ball in, come to the edge of the box. Nygren, it's bouncing, strikes it, tremendous block, and now it's Ralston, and there is the full-time whistle. Well, it is not the fairy tale that Auchinleck Talbot would have dreamed of, but they have done themselves and their community extremely proud with a fierce and brave performance against the Scottish champions Celtic. But as expected, the 42-time winners just had too much, despite rotating their team heavily. Johnny Kenny with a neat near-post finish in the first half. He had a second, it was a lovely dink ruled out in the second half for offside, and it took until the final 4 minutes for Sebastian Tunekte to get it onto his right foot and unleash an unstoppable strike into the far corner to seal passage into the fifth round for Celtic. There weren't too many in this rotated side that have put their hand up for selection, with big games to come for Martin O'Neill and his side, but nonetheless it's all about getting through, and Celtic have done what was expected. For Auchinleck, they'll leave with plenty of stories, memories, and the fact that they got closer to Celtic in some respects than many would have expected, and there is great pride to be taken in that from Tommy Sloan and everyone associated with Talbot. Full time here at Rugby Park in the Scottish Cup 4th round. It finished Auchinleck Talbot 0, Celtic 2.